Youssef Sheeth, welcome to the First Light podcast.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure being around you, James.
You're too kind, mate. Youssef, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
I am the director of INCRA, Interior Craftsmanship. We deliver commercial projects nationwide to a great level of detail, and beautiful care and craftsmanship gets involved in that.
Fantastic, mate. Good. We're going to dig in a little bit more to INCRA soon and all about all that. But tell us a little bit about your origin and how you became a builder and what drew you into becoming a builder.
It's funny, like I always think I should come up with a cooler story for this, but it's pretty stock standard. My dad was a builder, and he was a great one at that. He built front page magazine projects, and we grew up on the job site. It wasn't, the chores of the week or mopping the floors. They were at this job site, we're doing the concrete pour. This job site, we're clearing it out for the tiling. And so we just grew up, working the trades. And I guess that led me into being a builder as much as I tried pushing away from it.
Really?
I don't think my dad wanted us to be builders. We were all pretty studious, my brothers and I. We're all builders. We're all pretty studious. We all studied higher education, and every job we kept landing was somewhere within the vicinity of, the eventuality of being a builder. And the rewarding feeling of delivering a project just kept dragging us in. You dragged myself in especially, and before you know it, you're a good builder and everyone's complimenting your work, and it's just, why would you do anything else?
Good. So was there a moment, mate, where you're pushing away and then all of a sudden you're like, what am I doing? This is it.
Yeah. Was there a specific moment? I don't think there's a specific moment. I think it was a bit of like I started off, so we got good marks in school, went on to university. I tried, picking out some cool degree, like a double degree in business and architecture, thinking I can be like an entrepreneurial architect. I don't know, I was 18. And at that point in uni, and previous to uni, we were working in the trades. We landed some good roles. Same was my older brother was a CA at a big company, and I had joined Modern Group. And I think it was a bit of, taps on the shoulder, a bit of, boosting my ego whenever I was involved in some really cool projects and being involved in delivering, essentially landmarks across Australia. And my girlfriend, who's now my wife, she had a smile on her face, and I think there's no specific moment, but every time you hand over a really cool project and you create an enjoyable journey for all parties, that's the kind of reminder that you're in the right space and you're very happy and you're good at what you do. So I think it was just a continuous reminder that I'm in the right industry.
So from that point, you knuckled down, you went all in.
We went all in. So a few years after that, we started our family company in Sheeth. Mm-hmm. And Sheeth was, I guess, the origin to, really taking a lead in the industry and, taking up a bit of the market space where we were young guns, didn't know what we were doing, but we knew how to build. That's for one. And I guess people enjoyed working with us. Our biggest priority was sticking to our core values and just making an enjoyable experience for everyone involved, because we really enjoyed what we did. So we needed to make sure everyone else enjoyed it as well. Delivering a project for our first brand, which was, I think Bellini was our first brand. That was so cool. Walking in a shopping center with friends or family and saying, I built that. That was us, our family name built that. And one thing led to another. I nearly forgot the question now, but one thing led to another. But we just, continued just down that track, and I've lost the pace of that question, but I hope I answered it.
Yeah, you did. And it's more like, well, it just kept dragging you in, right?
It just kept dragging us in.
The reward is that final reward. You go and see it, you say, look what we built.
Yeah,
you're very proud of what we built.
Yeah.
And then word gets around and all of a sudden you're on the next one.
Oh yeah, the word gets around and just people are, tapping your back and saying, hey, can you build our project? And we're just like, yes, we can. Like, it is pretty, like, we came from fairly humble beginnings. We weren't unfortunate like other people, but we didn't expect to be at a scale where we can deliver for global brands. it just sounded very far-fetched for us. And getting to that point where we're able to work with, national and international brands, it just felt like, wow, look at us, street kids.
Yeah.
Now,
Street kids.
working in partnership with these brands essentially. And it just, continuously rewarding and kept bringing us deeper into the industry. And, your network grows, the people around you grow with you. And it felt really, really incredible. And you never look back.
Yeah.
You just keep driving forward, and it just ends up being a rewarding experience that just triples and 4-timesing and 10xing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you've moved on from Sheeth, which, family business, and you've started INCRA.
Yeah.
You must have learnt so much, especially being a family business, in there that you've now brought to, the skills and developed into INCRA. Can you tell us a couple of those things that you might have learned, and, sort of lessons for people who are listening that might want to do the same thing? Or
I guess, it's hard moving away from a family business. You feel like you do have to put everything into it. When it's a family business, it's your family name on the line. And moving away from that is hard. It's hard to detach from the people you know most, and you learn to work with these people inside and outside of work. And I think if you were to try find a moment of when you're ready, I think it's when you learn to find the confidence to find your own words and your own personality, not that of what is your family name and what you're expected to, represent for your family name, but more so how you represent yourself. I think if any advice for anyone that's in a family business that wants to detach and go on your own and keep the respects of everyone, which is the hardest part of it, leading a family company, it's find your voice. Find your strengths and your abilities. Don't try to compete with other people's strengths and abilities, because you've really got to run your own race. And when you feel confident, you find your passion in what you believe you can deliver, that may be a different product to what you're doing with your family business, I think you're ready to just take that all the way, detach and wish everyone well, and send it the way you want to send it. Just enjoy the journey. You can build another journey separate to your families. And not to say that you shouldn't work with family.
No, of course.
But family is good, but you want to create your own journey. You want to leave a legacy for your kids to look at your family business that you created for them. And I think that kind of sparked it for me.
Yeah, nice, mate. We'll talk a little bit more about INCRA soon, but working so closely with all of the designers and, amazing collaborations you've done, what sets apart from a good collaboration or a frustrating one? So what are the key elements of a good relationship with some of the clients you've worked with?
Yeah, that question's tricky, because you don't want to upset people.
Of course,
but the truth is, there's no one that needs to be upset, because everyone delivers what they're ready to. Everyone delivers their final product, their valuable final product. A builder shouldn't be playing in design, and an architect shouldn't be playing in building. But when you get the sweet science of a collaboration, you make a great result. I think a bit of a thing for designers to take into account, and builders, is everyone is human. Everyone wants the same outcome. Everyone wants to know, what are your doubts on a project? What are your hopeful outcomes, and what's your vision that you really want to, execute here? And if everyone's on board early on, then you're going to make for a good project. There is no, what are the dreadful outcome? What are the dreadful conversations? There's none of that. It is a collaborative process, and it's a team. So working with designers, builders, I don't know why, struggle. And it seems like they fall out a lot. I'm lucky and very fortunate to not fall out with anyone, because I think we agree early on that we want the same result. And the only way to do that is, collaboration and caring for the final result. Yep.
No, that's perfect, mate. I agree. I've seen you in action, which we'll talk more about as well in a minute. What are the when you from a builder's perspective, what's one thing that architects or designers often overlook in a space?
Overlook. I don't think this is a technical question. I think there's a sometimes a prejudice that a builder is much like a mechanic, where you're going in thinking you just need to change your brakes, but he hits you with you got to change your oil, and you got to change, your rear bumper, and you're scared for where it leads to, because builders have created a bit of a reputation for trying to take advantage of every project to make a big quick buck. I think what designers overlook is that, like I mentioned earlier, builders, and I'm talking on behalf of the good builders, are human as well. They want the same outcome, they want the same result, and if you were to open up early on and trust in your builder that you want the same thing, and you can talk early on preparation and what you plan to achieve with this project, and there's no secret conversations behind talking to the client, it's just working collaboratively. I think it's often overlooked that having an open conversation on a daily on a project is the greatest strength in delivering a project.
Yeah, good. When you walk into a project for the first time, what is the first thing you look for?
Oh, I'd hope that walking into a project the first time, I'm not discovering anything new physically. There's obviously the concept, and then there's the reality. And what I'm hoping to achieve first time walk into a project is, it wouldn't be, this is not buildable. It's how are we going to build this? Yeah. Let's make it happen. You're finding the holes that, you can't design beforehand, you can't prepare for beforehand, and you just want to get on site that day to work out them details so you can fill in them gaps and never say no to a crazy design.
Yeah. Now, you talk a lot about craftsmanship and detail.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you as Youssef? Because I know you take it very seriously. Tell us your side of it.
Craftsmanship and care. Craftsmanship and care is, you can't walk past something and think, I'll fix it later. There's none of that. There is having care for your work because your name is on it. And you can't predict the future. And the only way you can better your chances at a good future is fixing an issue then and there. If you foresee an issue happening, you discuss it and you work it out that moment. There's no fix it up laters. There is fix an issue up now. Make sure this detail is perfect for the next trade in the sequence of the project to just nail it and then deliver this project home.
How do you get that same message to your trades? Because that's hard.
You pay them better. No. Like, it's not. Yeah, that's a real hard thing, and I guess it's a bit of a trivial question, which every builder knows the answer to, and they like to be proud to say, our trades are the best trades, and every builder has to go through kind of like a nutting process where you work with some not so good guys, and you just got to be diligent enough to work around it and make sure these guys are able to still achieve a better result, and that is through builder preparation. That is a clear scope of works that aligns with the drawings. That is a program that works best for everyone to create a very smooth sequence. And once you do have that prep work in place as a builder, it's hard for things to go wrong. You find a trade that isn't so good, you'll quickly figure it out, and you'll make sure they're set up for the win. And then over time, you'll end up working with the trades that you work with best, and you show the respect to them of giving them a program that works appropriately for them, setting them up contractually wise, setting them up with a scope that they have a clear understanding of what they're doing that day. When they get there, they will then turn to care for your project just through the respect you've given them.
Yeah. How do you how do you describe or separate a high-end project from an average project?
Oh. Well, you can't tell people their project isn't high-end, because a high-end project isn't expensive materials. It isn't always
That's right.
marble slabs and and Venetian plaster.
Yep.
Not every project is that. A high-end project isn't a dollar value. A high-end project is the care put into that project. It is a good team coming in, and by team I mean the client involved. It is a good client. It is a good designer. Good consultants, engineers coming together for a great final result, and the care put into a project ultimately achieves you that high value.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it helps you achieve.
Essentially, every project's a high-end project.
High-end project was the word. Every project is
yeah.
a high-end project, and you will achieve that result, through the care that you put into it.
So you were the builder for the S showroom.
Yep.
And I guess when I first met you, we did a Zoom because you're based in Sydney, right? So I'd never actually met you, but you came highly recommended from their Sydney guys, Savan, and I said, sure, let's do it. And a very, very first time I met you, I thought, who's this young guy? They've sent down.
Young.
He's a young guy. He's here. He's telling me he's going to change, do everything, make this. I'm like, really?
I was excited.
Within 5 minutes of meeting you and you zipping around, I went, okay, he knows what he's doing.
Oh, I'm glad you felt that. I don't think I've ever asked you, the first impression, how you felt.
I'd never met you as a young kid rocks up. You're so young kid. You look younger than
I didn't have the beard, I guess.
Yeah.
I was so excited for this project. It was an 8.5 hour drive. I was meant to check into the project. Someone in the Sydney office mentioned that, hey, I think the guys at Est are hoping to build this project pretty quick. And I was already excited for it. So instead of checking in the hotel, I drove 8.5 hours straight to this showroom, asked to use your toilet, and then came out, said hi, and we just started getting cracking on. And I was so excited, and I think I hadn't expected to meet such a good person in you. That nice helps a lot. And you're dealing with a client that is super receptive to what is to come ahead in this project, and they're excited for it as well. And it was a good first impression both ways.
Good. It was a massive job, mate. And I guess when you first walked in, you'd seen plans and everything, but you hadn't experienced the space. And it is a massive space, and it's not just like a square room.
No,
it's a really odd shape, and people come down and you'll understand what I mean. But what was your first impression when you saw the shell?
Yeah. So walking into this place, obviously there was a big weight that we're working with Est, and we only know you guys as top quality. When you talk luxury, when you talk about performance, you're thinking S lighting, and so there is a bit of weight going to this project, and that was already a daunting thing, to be fair with you. But then walking into this place, it wasn't necessarily any specific element of this building. It was, oh crap, this is a beautiful envelope that's been restored from what it was, a bakery at the front, and what was at the back?
Hat box factory.
Hat box. I still don't know what that means.
They used to make hat boxes in the old days for the ladies.
I'm a young kid.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh no, how do we not take away from this? We have this beautiful design, and how do I not mess this up? Because this is a beautiful building, and we need to deliver a result that keeps the client happy. He's obviously very attached to this beautiful building, and that was that's what I was most careful for.
Did you think it was going to be a nightmare, mate? Honestly, did you look at it and go, wow, this is solid brick walls? And,
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a nightmare because we were very design driven, and we're working with very rigid materials that are not forgiving, especially when you're trying to showcase product and you're trying to showcase gorgeous materials and junctions, and so it was worrisome about how we're going to make that fine balance between an old beautiful thing and some new stuff involved. And so that was scary, but you saw I was jumping. I was excited.
You're excited, mate. And there was never an issue. Like there was never a problem, and if there was a problem, I could see you instantly
it was
getting in touch with that person who needed to solve it, in trade or whoever it was, and it was done.
Yeah,
there was no waiting a few weeks, and it was happening as I was.
Yeah, you saw it in live. You saw it in live action. Yeah,
so,
it's a good trade network. We have a great team.
Amazing trades. I mean, all the guys that worked with you, top.
They're all,
top notch.
They're good guys. Our builder's only as good as his guys and his or her guys. But it's
Was there anything that happened, mate, that you can tell me now that nearly broke the build or broke the relationship?
Oh. Herman Miller chairs.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's the one trade who may be
frustrated, I guess.
Yeah.
Do we tell the story?
Sure.
So it was a Sunday. We were trying to catch up on work, and we made it very clear to this painter when we're painting these big raked ceilings. Though it's easier for you to spray these ceilings, we want you doing it. We want you rolling and hand cutting with brush. He didn't like the sound of that, which was fine. He understood the expectation, and he was prepared for what we wanted. He was set up to paint these ceilings on a Sunday when we were catching up, and I was out in the tunnel of light. I was hanging the artworks or preparing to hang the artworks. I remember walking back in and thinking, oh no, what's happened here? He sprayed all of your furniture.
Yeah.
And I was shitting bricks. I was shitting bricks thinking, James loves me. I was, what's he going to think now? So yeah, texted you that photo straight away, told you it's going to be fixed. And next morning we had cleaners there trying to, refurbish or restore your chairs back to life.
Yeah.
And that was a big oh crap moment, I guess.
It was sorted, mate. It was fine. He handled it well, and is what it is. And yeah, that's probably the only trade. He did a good job.
He did a good job.
Aside from that, he did a great job. So,
are the chairs back to? Are they new again? Do they look good?
Oh yeah, no, they're fine. No, they're fine.
Yeah, they look good.
Fine. What was one of the hardest details in the project?
Oh, every room has its thing.
There's a lot. Yeah, a lot of detail here.
It's the door, the infinity mirror door.
Ah, okay.
I think that's one of one.
That was
one of one.
I still don't know how they got it in that.
Yeah,
through the door.
I guess to explain to the audience, that was the best way to explain it, if you're not putting it up on screen, which I hope you are. It is a mirror door that is 2.4 wide, 2.7 tall, wall to wall, slab to ceiling. It spins 360 from a center pivot. It is an 18-week lead time to work with Fritz Jürgen for that pivot, and they need to know the exact weight.
Yeah.
That it's going to be the exact finished weight. So we had to do some clever engineering and try to work out how to build this out of 6mm aluminium, so it's not too heavy. How to build a skeleton frame that doesn't twist or bow to pop off a mirror, and then calculate the weight of toughened 10mm mirror that is full scale, huge panel. I think I got the weight right because it's still up there.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
it's been a year and a half.
Yeah, has it?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a scary detail, but it was so fun. Well, I think everyone was excited to see that door work. There's nothing like it.
That door is one of my favorite parts of the tour. Like, that room is amazing, but
cool.
Taking people through that and the element of surprise is probably one of my favorite things to take people on, because I still hear the gasps.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Like and you see me every time I bring someone in here from Sydney or from another state. The first thing we do is let's go show you this door. It's pretty crazy, and it's it's a special feature in this project. It nearly broke the build if it went wrong, but I guess planning went right.
Well, one of my questions is: was there something that you haven't told me that nearly, that I probably should know? Or
something that I haven't told you on the project that nearly messed up. Well, there was. I feel like you were super receptive to ideas. So if there was anything I foresaw that was going to be an issue, I just spoke to you about it.
I don't think there was a time that something happened that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess,
to be honest, like, you always very forthcoming. Say, hey, this isn't working how it's been drawn or whatever it is. So that'll give you top marks for, mate.
I appreciate that. There's usually a plan in place. I won't sleep at night. I won't sleep at night if I feel like there's an issue at hand.
Is there a detail you think goes a little bit unnoticed? Like, it's something you've had to do that's people don't even know, but you had to spend a lot of time on it? Apart from the door, maybe. That's, a lot of work.
I can't mention the door anymore.
Yeah.
That's a special one. One thing that goes unnoticed, I think, were the window shrouds.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone loves a beautiful window shroud,
Yep.
Powder coated steel, and it kind of encases the window and, directs natural light in very well. Well, James Zagari doesn't like standard stuff. He wanted it to be able to be dismantled so you can plug in table lights.
That's true.
Power it in and then closed up so it looks like a finished product.
Yeah.
That's a detail. I do think everyone walks by and just thinks it's a normal window shroud.
Sure.
And they don't realise that.
You wouldn't notice. Yeah. Well, that's the idea. That was
the idea. And I hated you for the idea. But it was fun.
That's what I mean. That was a kind of on the fly. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if this actually slid out? I could plug all my leads in and close it again, because there's nothing worse than a messy plug base.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So once I got that message through, you're like, well, let's just try it.
Yeah, let's just try it. Because I guess you don't want to say no to, something that could make you very happy and could better the performance of your showroom, of your space. And you don't want to say no to an idea.
Yeah.
So
and we ended up doing the same idea in the other end.
Yeah.
Where we had Venetian plaster. And I said, let's do the same thing. And you're like, hang on.
Well, not again.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. That was fun.
The showroom itself was very design driven. So Christopher Elliott did the design. You had never met Chris either. I've worked with Chris on our first showroom. And I think, both Chris and I, our guards are a little bit up because, the first thing usually is you want to come in and cut costs and change things.
Yeah,
and da-da-da.
the usual builder.
So and we expect it, but we're like, well, we can't because it's been designed to a certain look and feel. And I remember sitting with Chris and we're like, hey, Chris, we're going to change this and that, and Chris' guard got up a little bit.
Of course.
But it wasn't long through that discussion where he went, okay, I get it. Yeah.
I'm glad.
So a few things we had to change.
Yeah.
Because it worked maybe a little bit better. In real life, right?
Yeah.
So
we talk about value engineering often. We offer it to clients, and I think the phrase has become more so, let's substitute this product for this product because it can save you money. Value engineering, really, to me at least, is providing better value for the same scope. In that instance, you can have just a window shroud, or you can have a window shroud that opens up and serves a better purpose. Sure. You can, and when you're substituting it, it's not always for cost. It's substituting for a better performance, whether it's longevity or aesthetic. It's better suited for that client, for that project. Yeah. So that's value engineering at play.
A couple of spots where that happened was upstairs in the lights out area.
Yeah.
We had, for budget, we were going to put fake grass.
Yeah.
And you were horrified.
I hated that idea.
And by the time you got quotes, because we wanted to put a decent brand and things like that, so that you had it quoted, and you said, you know what, James, for the same price, I can actually put a timber floor, a brand new
timber decking,
decking in, which would have suited so much better.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you told me that because it looks amazing.
Oh, it's incredible. I think that was it wasn't a one-shot thing. It was a bit of a parlay because there was also the VJ board across the room there.
Yes.
And I figured the cost of this VJ board plus this synthetic grass, we can probably achieve what you want with something a bit more suited to your product, which was a look-alike render finish on the walls that saved a ton on the walls. Mm-hmm. And then we can then spare that same budget to creating a timber deck with a beautiful hardwood timber and cost neutral. Yeah.
So that wall detail that you did, tricks of the trade, and you've got this beautiful texture running through it, and it lets our lights play beautifully against and all those shadows. It's exactly what we needed. But that just came from that conversation of what else can we do here to make this work.
Yeah.
And your idea was a trick that you'd use on a few projects, and that's the value of talking to someone who has the experience and knows what they're looking at and knows that it can be done and look good.
Yeah, thank you. And I think as well, it's not just the value of someone, I guess, with a bit of knowledge, it's also the value of that open collaborative discussion, as I was mentioning earlier. It's open collaborative discussion, drop the guard, everyone here wants the same result.
Was there a big technical construction challenge here, apart from the door?
Apart from the door? I guess, no. There wasn't anything specific that was really technical. I think Mitch will be upset at me for saying that because all the electrical work was obviously it's a lighting showroom.
That's a separate podcast. That's a separate podcast. Yeah, Mitch has got plenty to say.
He can save that for his podcast. Other than that, I think it was just having the technical thing about this project is you had so many beautiful finishes that needed to work out, and nothing can overpower the other. So I think the program of works where, getting the Venetian guys in after the floor polishing, whether or not that's a good idea, or, getting the joinery done before or after, these certain wall details. And the sequence of planning was the most technical kind of pressure on this project to make sure the final finish, every junction, every detail just worked out beautiful.
Yeah. Is there a moment that when you come back and visit, you come every few months, is there somewhere that you are so proud of, one spot that you just like, love that.
Lights out room. It's always going to be lights out room.
Lights out,
It's just always going to be that outdoor area. We built, for the audience, I guess, it's an outdoor area. And when you're there, you feel like you're outdoor in a beautiful, garden. But you're inside Richmond.
Upstairs.
upstairs in a closed room. And we're able to, with Christopher Elliott, able to achieve a space that just really, hit the agenda. And it's an awesome space to be in. Everyone's wowed when they're there.
Which trade do you think, out of all the trades you used on the project, should get the most credit? We might get you in trouble here.
Well, that's a hard one.
Because it's a massive collaboration, mate. Anyone from doing the framing right through the plaster work.
Yeah, there was a
Venetian,
lot.
electrical.
The framing guys moved quick. I don't think you would have seen anyone move as quick as our guys moved.
So fast.
Framed hundreds of square meters in a day.
That was literally overnight. Came in and the walls were framed.
Yeah, that was. It shocks a lot of people, and we get ahead of program with them. There was everyone had their piece. I think the hero of every project that goes unnoticed, which I'd like to kind of shine a light on them, is I think rubbish removalists, people that handle your waste.
Yeah, sure.
Like a site. If a site's not clean, it's not going to be a good project. A site needs to maintain cleanliness so everyone can feel like they can respect their own work. I think Sam,
Yep.
you met as well. He owns all the vintage stores.
Yeah.
He removes all of our debris and ensures the site stays tidy and safe. He's the hero of the project and of this project as well, because we had that many guys working in to finish this project in 8 weeks, and without him, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, he's a legend, mate. And I mean, not to mention, of course, our friends at Venetian Plaster Gallery.
Don't worry about
that. Don't worry about those guys.
They've got enough fame.
They're the things people see, and that lets the light play against.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can do so much with it.
The joinery, and there's so many things. The stone. Everything comes into play. What you can't see is all the cabling that Mitch has done. So
So I'd love to say Mitch, but I think you can give more credit to his work than I can.
Totally. No. So we see what's going on behind the walls, mate.
I try to just close my eyes and just hope for the best there. Sorry, can I ask, Venetian plaster, it's a natural material.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been for you when it comes to playing with light? Like, could you...
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah. It's, we love, sure, we use our lights against plaster walls all the time, but to have something like a Venetian finish to play with, with all that movement and all that
texture, concaves.
The light just falls beautifully against it, and it just creates moments. And we've just finished the front wall. We had
recently.
Yeah, so stage 2 was doing that front section, which is now going to be home for our Allied Maker brand. And the 2 wall lights we've got on there by themselves until everything arrives are just like these massive heroes just in that front room as you walk in, and they literally stop. Like you stop.
Yeah, we saw it today.
Yeah.
We saw it today, and it ends up a conversation every single time when you walk past it. Yeah. I'm glad you like that material, because I think I was a bit nervous introducing that material to this project, and I'm glad you got to meet Stefan. Yeah.
Oh, he's great. Great guy, man. Yeah.
He's a good guy. Very good guy.
We did some other work with you recently back with the showroom, and there was zero hesitation in getting you back in and involved again. And I will do it again just for people listening. If you are doing a project, whether it's a retail fit out or whatever, what you do,
anything
commercial. Right? Commercial.
Anything commercial.
I highly recommend
Thank you
for that.
James. Thank you.
So, but and if you want to see Youssef's work, come and have a look here at the showroom, mate. Skipping past that now, what's something that architects or designers often draw that's actually really, really hard to build?
Oh, everything. Oh God, what's hard? You know what? It came up recently, actually, this conversation. Architects often, and whatever they want to design or want to build, right? But often they want flush finishes with products that aren't built to be flush. You saw it on our recent project.
Yep.
And so the tricky thing then becomes the tricky thing becomes, how do you remodel a product to suit the design intent? And that happens often where a client wants to make a non-malleable product then suit their design intent. And from there, you just got to be super, super diligent in trying to work something out to achieve that result, even if it is alternating that product for like, so long you put something forward that makes sense and maintains and protects that design intent. The flush details, are tricky when it's not meant to be flush.
When it's not meant to be flush. Yeah.
I think that's a hard detail that happens consistently.
Yeah, I think suppliers are getting better at it, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing out products now that are designed in to be flush. Yeah.
Almost everything. In terms of lighting, lighting, everything, anything trimmed
lighting,
in.
PowerPoints,
Zeta does the flush. They're cool. It gets tricky sometimes. It gets very tricky.
Yeah.
But because you can always, to be fair with you, you can make anything flush by setting plaster to it.
Sure.
But you don't want it to crack. You don't want it to move and create, something like that's an eyesore. So, and if you do care for longevity, it often becomes tricky. But you just got to work it out every time. Everything is just working it out.
What's something designers do that actually makes a builder's life easier? More detail, less detail?
All the details they want, that's fine. I think it's just early planning. Like get the builder involved earlier. The builder's not there, hopefully, there to make money, especially early on.
Yeah.
You bring them in, you'll make your project easier because, they're then planning and procuring for the project early on and trying to really understand the essence of the design. And so, bringing an early collaboration in is, I think, the utmost important factor.
Yep. So talking now back about INCRA, what are the types of projects you're most excited about working with?
The types of projects? I think over the last 5 years, you saw hospitality become brave again. Hospitality projects have been super, super fun, and working with designers that are willing to be brave and courageous in creating something special. We saw it with the Sydney Fish Markets, and everyone was trying to outdo one another with something brave and ended up working out beautifully. Where now it's like a huge icon in Sydney. And they're the exciting projects, the guys that are willing to be brave and a brave builder willing to come on board and deliver those projects. I think that's the most exciting thing going on right now, and that we love jumping on. We love building those.
What's the plan for INCRA? Next 5 to 10 years, what are you thinking?
For INCRA, I think a lot of the industry that I've dealt with know me for my core values, and they do trust in my build methodology, and I do hope that in 5-10 years, we're a household name that is truly trusted as the builders that deliver the same philosophy as myself. The handy thing about starting this business is I get to kind of choose and hire mini versions of me, and it's not necessarily or everyone the same. That's the same. It's just I'm hoping to achieve a company that is in 5 to 10 years time trusted and respected to deliver the same results that I've always achieved, and everyone's firing on all cylinders and care as much as I do. And if we're known to be that company that really cares, I think that's the most important thing. If at a cafe someone says, this builder cares for the project he delivered, that's what I want for INCRA. You
were walking through here today after a year and a half, pointing things out that I don't care. It's out 5 mil. We'll get that adjusted. It's been a year and a half, mate.
It's okay. I guess, because it's a reflection of us. It's a reflection of us.
It just goes to show
a reflection of our relationship.
I
guess I hope that the testimony.
So there were things, right? There was always things, but as soon as I flagged with you, it was done.
Results straight away.
So, but even that's what I mean. Even a year and a half later,
quick. A year and a half later. Hopefully in 5 years' time, this place will definitely still be standing. I hope, if you don't expand further. But everything will still be looking beautiful, and I'm sure I'll still be picking out things that haven't lasted.
What's a couple of general questions? We'll wind it up in a minute. But what's your favourite material to work with?
Favourite material to work with? It's Venetian plaster.
There you go. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you'd say that.
I tried to think of something else, but it's Venetian plaster always.
Well, you can make something look pretty special by that extra coat, and then it depends on which version they use, and there's so many different finishes, right? It's not just...
It's incredible, the process. It's like it's very, It's an old trade. It's hundreds of years old, and it's beautiful. The fact they're able to get marble onto a wall and then formed into one piece, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's the most underrated trade on a project?
The most underrated trade.
Probably similar to my last question with the bin guy, right? The cleanup guy.
I'm trying not to be the same guy, but it's Sam. Like you can't build projects without people like that. In Sydney, we work with Rubbish Bros and Yol, and Josh, and they're just the best two brothers ever.
Yeah,
and they've got an awesome crew as well. They're the heroes of every project.
If you could go back to day one of now that you've finished this project, go back to day one when we first walked through that door and change something, would you change anything?
Would I change anything? No, I guess if I saw myself at that front door and I had to give him a piece of advice before he walks in, it'll be take the pressure off your shoulders. You're dealing with the right people. Everyone here everyone here is a great person, and you're going to deliver a great project. And it's probably one of the very few projects that is something that I genuinely smile thinking about looking back, because not only did we create such a beautiful project, everyone involved is proud of it, and we made lifelong friends between myself and you. Mitch, on the first day I was here, invited me to his birthday. And the only advice would be to just calm your nerves.
Yeah.
This is going to be a project that's going to be a memorable one for you.
Yeah. If I could say anything, it would be trust that young guy walking in. Because
I should have reversed that question.
I did within minutes. It was, I could see you just taking action, and mate, there wasn't a moment along the journey that was like, oh my God.
Never put you in doubt?
No. But the thing is, I had been in that position before.
Yeah.
We did another showroom, and I was constantly on edge.
Yeah.
And it was the first one, and maybe it was easier this time because we've already done it. But but no, so trust the process. And if any advice to people listening is, work as close as you can to the builder, and share as much information as possible, because it just makes your life easier.
It makes your life so much easier.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your previous builder you dealt with, do you feel like he lacked the care?
Yeah. I guess. There was no detail conversations, and it was like, how can we save money? So well, hang on. It's got to look like our brand, right?
Yeah.
We can't just rip out that black sink and put a stainless steel sink in. It's been designed as black because it's So there's a lot. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate. It turned out beautiful, and it looked amazing.
It did look good.
But it looked amazing. But it was a stressful
the experience
process.
It's the experience, and I don't know how people want to live with not creating an enjoyable experience for everyone that's involved.
There's no need to not have it. Yeah.
None of that.
Youssef, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for your time on the pod, mate, and hope people are listening. I don't know. You're probably the 6th episode in or 7th episode in. So,
can I tell you a funny story before I leave?
Tell me.
So, this is something that I want to tell you for the first time. You're only going to hear on this podcast. That first day I walked in, shook your hand, rushed to the toilet. Right?
Yeah, sure.
They're close to 9 hours of driving.
Yeah.
Turns out there was no toilet paper. And I hadn't even met you yet.
Yes.
So I called Sam. He was in Hawthorne. He came and helped me out.
Is that right?
Yeah, I thought that's a funny story for you to know.
That is a funny story, mate. That is a funny story.
There was no toilet paper that one time. Every other time there's been toilet paper. Yeah. So that was a funny one for you.
Good.
There you go.
Well, thanks again, mate.
Thank you.
And we'll get you on the next one.
Yeah, we'll get you on my podcast.
Okay.
I haven't built one yet, but hopefully I'll build one for myself and have you on, first guest.
Love it.
We'll see. Well,
Thanks,
thank
mate.
you so much. Thank you so much, James. I really appreciate that.
Good stuff.
Thank you.